Just make sure you guys mute yourself, just in case. Mal, you're on like twice. Do you see that? I don't know. I don't know if that.
I think it's because I was trying to sign up with my computer because I've only used my phone. So hold on one second.
I just hear it like echoing sort of, so I didn't know. Okay. All right. I wonder if Kylie is on because I wanted to record.
It's recording.
Oh, okay. Thank you. All right. So, I just wanted to, first of all, thank you guys for hopping on. I know a bunch of you had some stuff going on tonight. But we have a special guest, and her name is also Megan, so you know she's a rock star. And she and I kind of met on Facebook / in a group once, and I was like, hey, I need a success partner. And then we talked, and then her business like blew up, and so then I've been trying to play like catch up ever since. And so then we just kind of like have come back together because we're both really pushing for elite and just really, you know, have some similar goals and things like that. And so after talking with you guys and asking you about what you wanted to hear on a team call, you know, I thought of her immediately, and I think you'll have a really good time listening to her because she's way more bubblier than I am, and she's way more energetic than I am. But anyway, she is an incredible coach. So please make sure you guys take notes. Make sure you guys are asking questions. If you want to throw something in the chat, just make sure it's over there. And then just make sure you guys are muted so, you know, you don't like have any weird background music. And then when we get to the end, I'll try to leave some time for questions and things like that. So Megan, I will let you take it away, girl.
Awesome. Hey, you guys. So anyways, my name is Megan. It says Strump on here. My married name is Seals, although in Beachbody world, I'm still Megan Strump also because I'm too lazy to change my name. But anyways, thank you guys so much for being on. I am going to kind of focus what we're going to talk about sharing, or more importantly, like posting about the coaching opportunity, because whenever I started consistently doing that, I started realizing that, oh my gosh, there are people out there that want to coach. I just was not letting them know that there was an opportunity out there. And so if you're like, oh, I'm scared to talk about coaching, oh my goodness, I have been there for sure. I have been there recently even. So you can see success. There's still stuff to come. So anyways, a little bit about myself. I am coming up on my 3-year anniversary as a coach in December. So I've been coaching a little bit longer than Megan. So when she says she's playing catch up, she's really not. She's like almost a full year behind me with coaching, but we all go at our own pace, and I am totally okay with that. And I am big on not comparing myself to other people because I love like my own journey and where I've been. So anyways, I did not see success with this business right off the bat. Like I did not hit Success Club my first month as a coach. I don't even think I hit it my second month as a coach. I did not become an Emerald coach until like 6 months into the business. So my coach was probably wanting to kill me because I was like, oh no, I just want to help people. I want to change their lives. And I didn't really understand the fact that I could change even more lives and we could create this ripple effect the more coaches I had on my team. And now I see it, obviously. And so I'm trying to, one, be patient with my own coaches and not push them because my coach did not push me at all. But also I'm trying to allow them to see what the potential is whenever they do grow their own team. So kind of cool though. I hit Emerald like 6 months into the business, and then I hit Diamond like a month later. So as soon as I figured it out, I was like, dude, this is easy. I can totally do this. So if you are someone who is pushing for Diamond, like it can literally happen in a month. Like it's just kind of one of those, especially if you've been consistently hitting Success Club. Like I built to Diamond on literally discount coaches is how I did it. And now I've kind of shifted more and less discount coaches and more business builders, which is super fun because helping coaches see success is like one of my most exciting things. So anyways, I need to get back on track. I am a retired middle school teacher. I just started working full-time as a coach in May, I guess it was. And that was kind of, for me, it was a no-brainer. This was something I was super passionate about. I knew that I wanted to someday be a stay-at-home mom. And so it seemed to make sense. We financially could do it. And so I jumped in, and I haven't looked back yet. Everybody keeps asking me, do you miss teaching? Do you miss it? And I miss the relationships. I'm not so sure that I miss teaching, because I already last year, my heart was shifting to coaching and away from teaching just a little bit. Not saying that that's something that everybody has to do by any means. I didn't see it at all that was not my intention when I started coaching. But it definitely is where I am now. And I love where God has me right now in my life. So that's kind of where it is. So I'm going to focus mostly about coming up with ideas with you guys about what to post about with the coaching opportunity. And, you know, I always think about, like, why are you coaching? The reason I post about the coaching opportunity has so much to do with my dream for my family's future. It has so much to do with our financial situation of where we would like to be. So I want you to ask yourself, like, if you don't know yet, like, what is your dream for yourself? And not necessarily your dream for yourself in this business. Like, don't give me like, oh, I want to be a certain rank or anything like that. Like, what do you see? Like, my driving force in this business for the whole past year pretty much was all centered around an unrushed morning. And that might seem really silly, but I don't know if you guys have read Miracle Morning, but they're really big on visualization and like getting into that feeling. And so I would literally, like, for 5 minutes every single morning, like, envision this like really calm, relaxed morning where I wake up and I'm energized and I'm ready to go, and I have time to read, I have time to do my workout, I have time to do whatever I want. I eat breakfast with my husband. If I have, you know, there was a couple mornings where I was like, oh, I've got kids and, you know, we're all having a chill morning. And that was such a driving force to me, because I'm not one who does well with rushing around and being on the go all the time. Like, I love a very simple life. And that was such a dream for myself. Like, what do you want for your family? Like, with your finances, what do you want to happen? We recently were able to pay off, Zach had close to $40,000 in student loans, and we did it in 8 months. And there's absolutely no way that we were able to pay off that much while paying for a wedding, while paying for also my car loan at the same time. There's no way we could have done that if it wasn't for coaching. And if it wasn't for the fact that I kind of bucked up and I was like, you know what? I'm going to start reaching out and I'm going to start growing this business. What lifestyle do you want? So one thing that I am huge on is creating a vision board. And if you follow me on, you know, anything, I have been like obsessed with my vision board that I created. And so I'm going to share you guys what mine looks like, if I can share this. And I just kind of took like little areas of my life of what it is that I wanted. And that was, hold on, let me see. Start share. Okay. So hopefully you guys can see that. Do I need to scoot it over, or is it, I shared? Can you see that? Okay. So this was my like vision board, and you know, I just looked at like what kind of a house do I want us to live in? Like, what's my dream body? And my dream body is like total muscle, like muscle woman. Like, I love lean muscle. And so in the upper right-hand corner, that is my husband's dream truck. He like totally wants that truck so bad. And right now he's like driving this little Ford Focus because we have financial goals. And so he's like, I don't need that. And I was like, okay, but I'm going to make it happen. And then we have a couple of vacations on there. I would love to go to Europe. We really want to go like stay in those little huts. I don't know why, but I just feel like staying in a hut would be a lot of fun. And then definitely elite coach. You know, Megan already talked about that. That's one of our goals for this year, is just to be elite coaches. And so, you know, whenever you think about those, that is going to happen when you grow a team. You know, you can sell the heck out of some challenge packs, and you guys have a leader who is doing that and showing you how to do that. But whenever you make that shift from, you know, primarily commission to team bonuses, that's when you really start seeing your income grow. And that's where you start seeing these visions really come to life and being like, oh my gosh, these are actually going to happen. So a couple of things that I do is I try daily to post about coaching. It doesn't always happen. I really try to more focus my months on the first 2 weeks. And I'm still kind of working out what's the best, for me. But at least 2 weeks out of the month, I am focusing on fitness. I'm sharing recipes. I am doing all of that. Like, hey, you should be with me because I'm going to help you with your fitness goals. And then there's at least 2 weeks of the month that I am focusing on coaching. And I'm like, hey, look where I was and look where I am now. Look what you can do with coaching. And so these are 5 questions. They're not mine. I talked to a girl from Corporate Sydney who shared these with me, and they have really given me a lot of focus. But they are, why did I become a coach? And I'm going to give you guys some examples of these here in a little bit. So really dig in. And I don't know about you guys. I don't have just one why for becoming a coach. Like, there wasn't one set thing that I wanted. There was helping my mom with her fitness journey. There was helping my aunt with her fitness journey. There was wanting to take this negativity that I had at school and center positivity around me. And I joined a team that was very positive and super just moving forward and doing things. And I wanted to be a part of that. I wanted to buy my own home. I was a single girl whenever I started coaching. And I was like, dude, if I am going to purchase a house all on my own, I'm going to need more than a teacher income to do that. So that was one part of my why. So think about that. I just listed off 4 different things. Those are 4 different posts. Guess what? You've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday planned out of what you can post about. I don't suggest posting your why 4 days in a row, but when you start, taking these questions and really digging into them, you're going to have a list of post ideas that you can be posting about every single day. One of your posts can be about coaching opportunity. And I highly recommend one of your posts today being that, especially if you're struggling with consistency in your posting, make one of them about coaching. Okay, so why did you become a coach? What has coaching done for me? And this can be a plethora of things. Obviously, a lot of us think towards financial. What can it do for me? But that's not just the only thing. So I think of, I'm trying to get my coaches to every single Thursday is payday. Guess what? Thursdays, you need to be posting about coaching because it's easy. There's a financial gain. What did that money go towards this week? When I first started coaching, I remember my first challenge packs, I sold like a T25, and those were expensive. And so my commission was like $70. And so I'm thinking about that was groceries for the week, like if I was posting about coaching back then, which I really wasn't, I could have posted about this week, today, I got a paycheck and it's paying for my groceries this weekend. And you know what? I also get to change a life and pay for groceries. How cool is that? Are you interested in doing that with me? That call to action. So financially, what has it done for you? Physically, what has coaching done for you? Because I don't know about you guys, but I would not have abs right now if it were not for coaching. It just wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't be as consistent. I wouldn't be as dedicated to it if I didn't have coaching in my life. So don't just post about physical transformation as if here's my physical transformation, but post about your physical transformation and talk about how coaching gives you kind of that push to kind of take your fitness to that next level. Emotionally, what has coaching done for you? I think about, I can hear no and not be super upset to hear no. I know that I am super emotionally strong and stable because I'm doing personal development and I am making sure that I'm good to go. Spiritually, for me, this has been a big kind of God journey for me. And so spiritually, I pray more than I ever know, especially when we come to deadlines with Beachbody. But I pray about my team and over my challengers. And so that has caused me to depend on God because, you can send out 10 messages and then I'll send out those 10 messages and I'll be like, okay, God, if someone wants to be a part, if there's someone who I'm supposed to change their life, I'll give them the courage to respond back to me. And so this coaching opportunity allows for me to do that. that's a post idea right there. I need to post about that because I don't post about that as much. And then mentally, that is a huge thing. Leadership was always super scary. Talking in public was super scary for me, and it is not anymore. And it's because I have been pushed into that with coaching. So what has coaching done for you? List that out for yourself. What will coaching do for you in your future? And this is something you have to be specific. And I don't know if you guys have posted about this. It's very scary the first time you do it. I remember my post. I had like a mirror, and I had a Post-it note on the mirror. And I took a picture of myself in the mirror with the Post-it note on there. And I vividly remember this because it was so scary. It was one of those, like, you put the post out there and you run away and you like turn off all your social media. And I wrote on the Post-it note, work from home mom, because that was my huge, once I got to a certain point in the business, that was my motivator. Like, I was going to be home with kids, and that was what was going to happen. That coaching was going to allow that. And doing that kind of put me out of my comfort zone, but it also allowed other people to take me more seriously. Because they were like, oh, this is legit. Like, she has plans for her future. And so I can join her because I know she's going to stick around for more than just next week. She's not going to quit because she has a vision for what her future is. So you might think it's super scary for you, but it really is going to bring so many more people to you because you're taking this seriously. So they're going to take you seriously, I guess is the best way to say that. Okay. Let me see what's next. So what will coaching do for your future? What's your favorite part or parts of coaching? I find this is the easiest one for us to do. Talking about what do you love about coaching? Do you love your team? Do you love the accountability groups? Do you love the fact that you get to post on social media and do silly Instagram stories? Like, what do you love about it? What made you nervous about coaching before you began? That is a big one also, because that's going to bring in those objections. So for me, my biggest one was I was super scared that people were going to find me annoying. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, everybody's going to judge me. They're going to think I'm the salesy person. They're going to avoid me because I'm the Shakeology girl. And obviously, you guys know, like, that is not what Beachbody promotes. Like, you are not that annoying salesperson at all. And so how did you overcome that fear? If that was your fear, what did you realize? Because you're going to get those objections. So kind of combating them. And if you weren't nervous about anything before you began, what are the objections that you're getting in your messages about coaching? And put it out there. Like, hey, like, here's what I thought, or here's a message I got. Here's, I could relate to that. And here's how I am now, or this is how I think about it now. Okay, and then my favorite one is giving a behind the scenes look at coaching. So I do this a lot on my Instagram stories, but I love doing a little video of my challenge group and just letting people look into my challenge group, or doing a video of a team call and being like, hey, we're not all on our own. Like, there's other people that are, hanging out with us also, or just kind of giving that behind the scenes of even you taking pictures. Like, I've set my phone up with my tripod with everything and been like, hey, here's the real coach life. This is the behind the scenes of what I'm doing and what I make this happen. Because you'd be surprised how many people actually want tips on how to take a good selfie. Even if they have no plans on being a coach, they're very interested. Like, that's value you can add. And it seems silly, but you know how to take good pictures. I've even posted about apps that I use as a coach. Because people are interested in, the technology that we use and how you are becoming a better person, basically. So give them that behind the scenes look. So let me see, checking my notes real quick. I think the biggest thing is just being real whenever you're doing that behind the scenes, though, and not trying to make it look pretty, but really showing, whenever I plan out my month. So I've got a big monster calendar to plan out my month. And I love that Megan brought this up. She did a team call for me, but she talked about what days she's going to hit Success Club. And I do that on my calendar too. I write down Success Club 5 by this day, Success Club 10 by this day. But I remember one post that went crazy was me literally laying on the floor, writing on my calendar. My dog was laying right next to me. And it was just about hey, like I plan out my month. This is a legit business, you guys. And people just want to see what it is that you do, and how you make it work. And just giving that like little inside peek into what you do as a coach is going to allow them to feel more comfortable with jumping on board, because they kind of already know what they do. And if they can't see it fitting into their life, like if they can't see coaching fitting into their life, they may not jump on board with you because they really don't see how it all works out. So I'm going to show you guys just a couple of posts that I've done that kind of fit into these categories, so you kind of get a visual of what they might look like. So this one was kind of what coaching has done for me and why I started coaching. So I talked about how we were about to be debt free, and I was super excited. So I like drug that out big time. So if you are paying off debt, every time you pay like a little towards your debt, you better be making that a post. Like, we paid off $50 of my debt today, and coaching helped me do that. And guess what? We're one step closer to it. So I like gave these little breadcrumbs of like, we're about to pay it off. We're so close to paying it off. We're paying it off by the end of the month. Like, I just like built it up. And guess what? That month that I was giving all those breadcrumbs, I signed up. And for me, this was huge. I signed up 12 coaches. And I was like, oh my gosh, I went from like 2 to 3 coaches a month to 12. And you know what? It was because I was posting about coaching all the time. And I talked about how like, I didn't even know Zach. That wasn't my goal starting out. But you know what? I stayed consistent. And guess what? Little things came up in life, and I had this opportunity to be able to handle those things that came up. I posted about what made me nervous about coaching and what it's done for me. So this was from Summit this year. I got to walk across stage, which was huge for me. It was so cool. And I talked about how being a leader scared the poo out of me. And I like to try to like catch their attention at the beginning of the post. And so this was all about like, I realized that this is kind of what I've, morphed into because of coaching. So this made me nervous. Here's what coaching has done to me, based on that thing. I've changed as a person internally, not just externally. This was kind of a favorite part about coaching, talking a little bit about like the basics of what it is that I do, but I also try to keep it very real. You probably noticed at the bottom I said, this is no cakewalk. It takes showing up daily, doing what you need to do, not what you feel like doing, because I do not want coaches that aren't going to show up every single day on my team. They are going to frustrate the heck out of me. And I'm like, I don't know how to relate to you. Like, how do you not want this? And so I try to be real when I talk about coaching and say, hey, this isn't easy. Like, there's going to be days that you don't want to work and you need to work. There's going to be days where you have parent-teacher conferences until 8:00 at night, and you have this like, your cheeks hurt because you're smiling all day. And you know what? You still need to show up for your business when you get done with those conferences and you get home at 8:30. Like, that is what I've done. And so I want other people on my team that are okay with doing that if they have the same goals as me. This one was my favorite part of coaching. Super simple, sweet. I was working at Panera and I was like, dude, it is beautiful outside and I get to work outside. Like, that's awesome. It's very simple. It doesn't have to be overlooked. I did posts like this when I was teaching, because I would sometimes go and work somewhere else right after I'd get done teaching. So I was like, I know if I go home, I'm going to get distracted and I need to message 10 women and do my follow-ups today. And so I'm going to take my stuff with me to teach, and I'm going to go somewhere else to work, and then I'm going to be home and be present the rest of the evening. And so I don't know, for some reason going other places helps me to focus a little bit more. So that was kind of a favorite part of coaching. This was another behind the scenes. I talked about how I was working on Labor Day because we were getting ready to do a new coach training. People want to know that you're not just going to sign them up and then you're done. So if you have anything, like if you do a new coach call, anything like that, post about that. Let your followers know that you offer support and you're not just going to sign them up and just let them run. So this was, I only got messages about my arms, was the only thing that I got any comments on, but whatever. You know what? If talking about coaching brings in challengers, that's fine for me. By the way, Shift Shop has like transformed my body. I've never seen it, but I did 2 rounds of it and it was awesome. Okay, this one was kind of a mix of everything. So I talked about how my first big purchase was this laptop, and just kind of talked about what my mission is with coaching. Like, what do I want to accomplish? Who do I want to help? And it was just, I don't know, just kind of a random little post. But okay, I'm going to stop sharing. So I think a big thing for me is just really trying to show every aspect of coaching. You know, obviously there's lots, and just in those 5 questions and giving behind the scenes is huge, but just trying to also not portray that this is super easy, and not portraying that they're not going to have to work, or they're only going to have to work, you know, maybe an hour a week. Like that, you can't grow this business on an hour a week. And so I try to be real with how much time and consistency and hard work it takes. And I've noticed that since I've shifted into posting more about that, I've had people come to me that legit want to turn this into a business and want to stay home with kids. Like, I just signed a coach who is in sales, and she's super successful in her job, but she hates it. And she wants to be home with her 3 kids. She has a husband overseas right now until next summer. And she's like, I know that this can work. And she's like, and I want to be on your team, and I want to make this work. And I was like, you have 3 kids and you work full time, and your husband is overseas right now. Like, he's not going to be home till next summer. And she's like, but I know I can make this happen. She's like, I love fitness, and I love what you're about. And I was like, okay, well, it's going to take work. And she's like, I know that. She's like, I have a plan. And I was like, okay, let's make it happen then. So you'll start attracting the people to you that you start posting about. And if you don't start posting about it, you're not going to sign up coaches. Like, they're not going to know what you do unless you talk about what you do. So that's about all that I have. I'm trying to see. I didn't look at the chat at all. Thank you, Mallory. I am very excited about my guns also. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So I wrote down a lot of those questions because I feel like I ask myself that, but then I'm always sitting here like, what do I post about? So I think just like having them written down somewhere, or even like posting them, would be good. How do you feel about sharing about the coaching opportunity with like income? Because I know you mentioned, $50 to this student loan payment or something like that. And I know as a newer coach, like that would be awesome to kind of share those, quick wins and things like that. But I feel like the things that I get from my coaches, and even myself sometimes, like talking about income, talking about the money side of it, it feels icky because we're not in sales. We're, health and fitness coaches. Is there any way or any advice, like whether it's posting about the income aspect of coaching, or, sharing about that, or how to make it so it's not icky, I guess?
Yeah. So the only time that I've done like a direct number was whenever we paid off loans, because holy moly, $40,000 is a lot of money. And so I was like, people need to know, because some people have like $5,000 student loans. Some people have $200,000 student loans. So that's the only time I've actually done like, we paid off this amount. But I was very clear that it wasn't strictly just coaching. Like, my husband worked, and he, his income went towards it also. But so that, I guess I was just very clear in that. But with new coaches, I try to get them to relate it to something in their life. And maybe that money went to savings, and that's fine. But did it pay for their house payment that month? Did it pay for, like we said, groceries? Did it pay for gasoline? Like, relate it to something in your life. Okay, so here's an example. 6 months into coaching, I bought this house that we're living in. I was single. I hadn't met my husband yet. And I, like, that week that I moved in, I went and bought paint. My income for Beachbody was like within pennies of the amount of paint that I bought. And I bought the good stuff, you guys. Like, I bought the real expensive paint. And so I just talked about, like, I think I had a picture of me holding 2 cans of paint. And I was like, this week, like, I talked about like the stresses of being single and purchasing a house, and how I wasn't sure, that I was going to able to do this on my own. And then guess what? Bam. Like, that week I made enough to pay for the paint for my house. Like, I think I related to like a God thing. Like, this was like such a sign to me that this is where I was supposed to go. And so I don't find that icky. Like my coaching income, helping women. And even if you say like, I helped 4 women this week and it paid for my paint for my house, like that, I always kind of related to the fact that I got to help people, and at that kind of, it's helping me also. And so I've gotten away from it. I have been nervous about sharing the income in the past. And I've just realized that like, there are so many women that need financial help. Like that's all there is to it. Like I did. And so I'm grateful that my coach, my best friend, able to tell me about this opportunity, because you know what? I would be stressed out of my mind getting ready for teaching tomorrow if I didn't make any income, So
yeah,
I think you just got to do it. You got to, like Megan said in our call, like rip the Band-Aid off. Like if you've never posted about the fact that you earn income, nobody's going to join you because they don't think they can earn income. Like you spend your time and effort and creativity into this. Like be proud that you also get to make this a side job or, career. So I try to relate it to something that it could potentially pay for in my everyday life, I guess is how I did when I first started.
And I think too, like a bunch of the questions that you had, like, why are you coaching? Why did you become a coach? A lot of that you can use with Challenger posts too, like, why did you start your fitness journey? Or, why are you on your fitness journey, and just sharing that with people too. And so I always found myself posting about challengers and, being a challenger. And then when I finally made that shift into posting about coaching, like I attracted new coaches and actual coaches. And so, even if you have, 0 people under you, why not attract coaches, like all coaches? One of my other questions was, okay, pretty much everybody on my team are all working full time. And so I am too. Any tips back when you were a teacher about sharing about working your job and also about how much you love about Beachbody? Any like tips with that, like sharing without like saying, I hate my job? Like,
So I would talk about the struggles with teaching. And just, because even teachers can relate to a hard week and things like that. And so I used it more of like coaching is my outlet with a hard day teaching. Like I would post about the fact that, coaching kind of got me through some rough days because I was looking forward to going home and pouring into my challenge groups, or I was looking forward to that. And I think, I don't know, for me, that's not icky. I will say I never said anything about hating my job. Like I never really hated teaching, to be honest with you. I that's not the reason why I quit, but I even hate the word quit. I retired. Okay. Moved on to another passion is what I said, I think, is whenever I talked about it. But that wasn't a part of my story. So I didn't post about that. Does that make sense? So
yeah,
I just talked about like juggling both of them.
Yeah, because there's just a lot of people on our team that love their jobs, and that's okay. Like you don't have to think you're gonna quit tomorrow or something. Because I even talked with Kylie like last year when she's like, I want to be at home. I was like, girl, you're crazy. Like, why would you ever want to do that? And then I'm sitting here thinking like, well, if I can make it work, type of thing. And so just sharing that with people too. Even if you don't necessarily hate your job or ever really feel like you're gonna leave, like that's okay. You can still be super successful and just reap the benefits.
I didn't talk about leaving teaching until I left teaching. So until I went and talked to my principal about like, I'm turning in my resignation, I never even mentioned the fact that I was even thinking about leaving teaching, because for me, that wasn't my story. So if that's your story, then you better be sharing about it. Like you better be talking about how coaching is so awesome and that's where your future is headed and things like that. Like if you don't see I think about, Megan, we've talked about like you getting some slack about sharing your fitness journey as a teacher. And, you kind of have to think about like, what is your future? And if your future is coaching, then you have to kind of be okay with maybe breaking the boundaries, I guess, or the expectations in your job maybe. Because that is where you're headed, I guess, with reason, of course, with reason. I had certain things that I did and didn't do for sure. But if your story is not that you hate your job, then don't feel like you have to post about that. Like, you can be a super successful coach and not hate your job, I guess.
Yeah, perfect. Girls, does anybody have any questions for her? Anything that's like burning that you want to ask her? Don't be shy.
Yeah. So Megan and I talked about this morning a little bit about pushing some of my Rockstar challengers to coach, to switching over from just being a challenger to a coach. And she gave me some really good advice and gave me some things to say. I was wondering if you had anything, because honestly, whenever I first started, I was kind of like you said in the beginning, like, oh, I'm not here to make money. I'm here to help people. Like, I'm not here to do anything besides help people. And now that it's, coming, like, the coaching thing has given me such a lift. Like, I just want people to do it too, because it's helped me so much. I just want to help them as well. So anything that you say to your Rockstar challengers to help them?
Yeah. So first of all, ooh, that was echoey. So if you're not posting about coaching, you need to be posting about coaching, because your challengers are still following you. And they need to see that piece of you also. But I just keep it super simple. Like, I praise the heck out of them. And I talk about, like, I'll send them messages of being like, oh my gosh, you are such a leader in this challenge group. Thank you so much for showing up every single day. Or you are whatever qualities I'm seeing in them that could translate into being a coach. Like, oh my gosh, you are always sharing awesome recipes. I kind of do that as a coach also. And so I always try to, like, relate what they're doing in the challenge group to what I do as a coach. And then a simple, have you ever thought about doing what I do? And that is very, very, like, I'm always shocked that people are actually thinking about coaching, to be honest with you. I don't know why it surprises me still, but I still am like, oh, she has thought about what I'm doing. And so if you haven't, like, the first week, my rock stars, like, by Thursday, I'm messaging them personally, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you've showed up every single day. That is so awesome. You're such a leader. And then the second week, I kind of, like, translate into more of, like, what they're doing well as a coach. Like, you're such a leader to the other ones. You're consistent. That is awesome as a coach. And so I kind of, like, relate their activities in challenge group to how they would be successful as a coach. And then, if not the second week, definitely by the third week, I'm saying, have you thought about coaching before? And it seems like these people have done a couple challenge groups with you. And so I think it's just, anytime you guys have a coaching, like, peek into coaching, I would invite them. Like, even if they've been like, I kind of thought about it, but now's not the time. Just each time you guys do a sneak peek into coaching, I would be like, hey, you're still on my dream. Like, that's one thing I've said is, like, you are on my dream list for coaching. Like, you're on my dream team list. Is there, like, would you be interested in looking into it? So it's just kind of putting the ball in their court and following up with them, I guess, is the main thing.
My puppy is the most obnoxious thing in the entire world. She's like chewing on toys and eating the freaking toilet brushes. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
Thank you. That's humping my leg for some reason. I don't know what's wrong.
I don't know. Thank you. That's I appreciate all of your advice.
Of course.
All right. Anyone have anything else? Otherwise, anybody? Nobody? Okay. All right. Perfect. Okay. So, thank you, Megan, for popping on. It really means a lot to us to kind of just have someone else come in and, share your, like, tidbits and things like that. And even hearing things from you, which I feel like I've said forever, but hearing it from you just kind of clicks a little bit differently. And so I really appreciate you hopping on, and hopefully it helps a little bit with coaching and sharing the coaching opportunity. And also everything that you said, you can really tie it into challenge groups too. And I really like what you said about, like, your first 2 weeks, you kind of really focus on fitness and challenge groups, and that kind of helps with Success Club. And then the last 2 weeks, you really focus on coaching and recruiting Rockstar coaches. And I don't think, even new coaches or older coaches or anybody, I don't think, posting for the coaching opportunity is a bad idea. I think everybody is ready to coach. Even if you just started coaching, having new coaches is awesome. So thank you for popping on. I know it's like super late since you have to get up early. Oh, wait. But yeah, we do. Thank you so much for hopping on. And I'm pretty sure Kylie has the recording, so we can get the link to you if you want to share that with your team. So I think that's